Hey guys, there will be a lot of new smartphones coming up in 2023 and I will tell you on which ones you should keep an eye on. So starting with some smartphones that have already launched in China but nowhere else in the world, and let's start with the Xiaomi 13 and 13 Pro. This phone now has a very edgy polished design which kind of reminds me of the Apple iPhone 13 Pro and the 14 Pro and even some older versions. This smartphone will be available in two different sizes, 6.3 and 6.7 inches, and both devices have a display brightness of up to 1900 nits and a display refresh rate of 120 Hz. Those phones are IP68 waterproof and they will come with the newest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, which is hands down the best stuff that you can get your hands on right now. Even the cameras on these two smartphones are top notch. You will get a 50 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, 75mm zoom, and the main camera is 1 inch big. Now of course these cameras are a cooperation between Leica and Xiaomi, and as well as they have a battery of 4800 mAh, and if you charge them with a 120 watts, it only takes about 20 minutes until they are fully charged. Now I don't know when they will release these smartphones over here in Germany or the other countries, but I don't think that it will take too long. And price wise, I'm expecting to see prices similar to the older versions of about to 850 to 1000 euros. Another smartphone that has already been released over in China is the Redmi Note 12 5G smartphone. This will be a mid-range price smartphone with a 6.67 inch and 120 Hz AMOLED screen with 10-bit color HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision support. As for the camera, we can expect to get an IMX766 with optical image stabilization, which should be more than enough for your everyday video clips. Of course, you will get some stereo speakers, a headphone jack, a 5000 mAh battery with 67 watts wired charging support, and if we're talking about the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus model, you can bump that up to 120 watts. This phone is powered by MediaTek's Dimensity 1080 chipset, which you can also find in a lot of other mid-range smartphones that will perform fairly well when you are playing games on it. As well as there is the Redmi Note 12 Explorer. This one only has a 4300 mAh battery, but therefore it has a whopping 210 watts fast charging, which takes less time than me losing a game of Minesweeper. The next phone that is not available in every country yet, and that is the Oppo Find X6 Pro. Design-wise, it should more or less look like the previous model with a ceramic case. So spec-wise, we can expect to get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 16 gigs of RAM, but the special part about this phone are the cameras. There are 3 in total and all of them have a 50 megapixel camera. The ultra wide angle and the telesensor both have the same big IX890 sensor, and the main camera is going to be a 1 inch in size, and all of them are designed with Hasselblad. Battery wise, there will be a 5000 mAh battery inside and you can charge them with up to 100 watts. Now something a lot of us are waiting for, and those are the new Pixel phones. We can expect to see the Google Pixel 7a, Fold, 8 and 8 Pro. The Google Pixel 7a and Fold are not going to be released somewhere around August, but already in May. The Pixel 7a is pretty much going to look like the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro, just with a plastic case. And we finally get a 90 Hz display, which really was about time with a full HD plus resolution. We will get a 6.1 inch display with the same ultra wide angle lens that we have on the Pixel 7, but with a new main sensor of 64 megapixels. So it's not as good as the one from the Pro model, but also not as bad as the previous one. This phone will have a 4410 mAh battery and comes in at a price of around 450 euros. There will also be a foldable Pixel phone, the Pixel Fold or Pixel Notepad, or however the name is going to be at the end. And the device really looks good and kind of reminds a little bit of the Oppo Find N2. On the outside we'll have a 5.8 inch display and in the inside a 7.6 inch display. Like on all the new smartphones, it is powered by the Tensor G2, but we don't know how the camera are going to be like. If it's the same camera from the Pro model or maybe something in between the Pixel 7 and the 7a. I guess we'll have to wait a little bit and see. Now price-wise, it will come in at a hefty price of around 1800 euros over here in Germany, which really is a lot. Now regarding the Pixel 8 and the 8 Pro, there's really not too much to say about them right now. They will probably show them during the summer of 2023 on a Google event and will afterwards be released around October 2023. Like every year, we can expect to get the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold and Flip 5. Regarding those phones, there are already quite a few informations, such as that we get a slot for the S Pen on the Z Fold. It's going to be a little bit thinner, lighter, and more durable, and Samsung wants to get rid of the bending line as much as possible, almost so much that we can barely see it anymore. The Galaxy Z Flip 5 is going to get a bigger outer display. Right now it's about 1.9 inches big, but they want to upgrade this one to 3.5 inches, so almost a full front side. They will get a bigger battery and of course the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, but up until now we have no indicator on what the price is going to be like. So Realme is expected to launch a couple of new smartphones, like the Realme GT Neo 5. Like the GT Neo 3, the Neo 5 should be a mid-range price smartphone and should offer a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 and hopefully with no heating issues. We get a 4850 mAh battery that should support 240 watts fast charging, which is crazy fast. There will be a 6.7-inch AMOLED screen and a 50 megapixel camera with OIS. Okay, let's talk about the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, and 15 Ultra. They will all get a redesign, so they will look more like the iPhone 5C. We will get a edgy front design and some smooth curves on the backside. The Ultra model, the biggest of all of them, will get a titanium frame to make the pretty large device more durable and lighter. Just like with an Apple Watch Ultra, there will be a change to the buttons as well. They will be more clicky, if you can say it like that. So you can really push them in and you will get a slight vibration feedback like we had with the iPhone 7's home button. The cheaper models are going to get a 60Hz refresh rate and the other phones will have a 120Hz display, which is a shame now that we live in the year 2023 and basically no smartphone has a 60Hz refresh rate anymore. Also, all of the devices will get a USB-C port. The camera are more or less pretty similar to the previous models, and just the Ultra model will get a greater zoom in order to compete with the Samsung lineup, and all of the other devices with a periscope camera. As for the price, right here I expect to get prices like last year with the iPhone 14 lineup, but you never know what Apple does next. And guys, that's already it. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.